Dude, the hypocrisy that comes out of these conservatives is laughable. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 5th episode of Republicans Say The Darnedest Things. And our girl, Sydney Watson, is back on the show. Of course she's back on the show. But if you are new to my channel and you're not sure of my series, Republicans Say The Darnedest Things, I will leave the playlist right here. Go check it out and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, today's video I'm gonna react to is by conservative YouTube's very own Sydney Watson. And like I said, she's been on my show before, and for reasons. The title of her video today is "It's Bad and It's Only Going to Get Worse." Oh boy, I wonder what she's talking about. But let's just get right into this video.
So I know a lot of you watch my content, even though it is sometimes quite depressing, because you find it humorous and you find me funny.
I don't think I've laughed once in your videos. I don't think I even smiled in one of your videos. So the 76,000+ likes that you received on this video isn't from people like me. I promise you that.
I mean, I keep watching these insane TikToks and they don't even make me smile anymore.
I want to show you the email I sent in response to my teacher saying they won't be using my pronouns this semester.
People who identify as a Lexi gender fall under the gender fluid umbrella.
Now she's going to attack the people in the LGBTQAI+ community and people with different genders. All right, Sydney, let's hear this.
I hate it here. I hate it here.
You know, Sydney, we hate it here too. And people always ask me, Ghost, why did you come to this country if you hate it here? Now I'm gonna respond to you the way I would respond to that question. Why would I want to leave a country that has some kind of potential in getting better? We just need to convince people like you to step back into normality.
Being sad or feeling frustrated with the state of things doesn't make you crazy, because I feel exactly the same way. Like we're on a rock in space, spinning out of control, and even aliens don't want to talk to us.
Don't tell my daddy, please, no!
Yeah.
Oh, this shit don't even hurt.
Don't ever do that again. Ever.
On that note though, I do hope that my mothership comes and picks me up soon.
Me too.
So that's what we're going to address today, the state of the world and the multitude of feelings that go along with that, because you guys know how much I love talking about feelings.
Oh, here come the conservatives with their "F your feelings" statement. And that's the meat of the video, her opinions on the state of the world. Let's check it out.
So I personally feel like 2020 was the boiling point for many countries around the world, but even in the last couple weeks, it really feels like something has shifted. I couldn't tell you what exactly, but it kind of feels like people have hit their saturation point when it comes to the media and government and the justice system and the education system, especially the education system.
Yeah, you know what, Sydney? I actually agree with you. Yeah, I think you guys are literally ruining everything that you just stated. I blame the right for most of the that's happening in the media. I blame the right for the education system. I absolutely do. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about when you're saying that it's up, because your people that fundamentally think like you it up.
Why is this a thing?
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
How do you do that? How do you
Out of them.
Dipe goes on to say he's not the only teacher at Intricum High School who shares his radical beliefs.
Like I have an Antifa flag on my wall, and a student complained about that, and he said it made him feel uncomfortable. And I addressed it to everyone because I didn't know who it was, and I was like, well, this is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable. So if you feel uncomfortable, I don't really know what to tell you. Like maybe you shouldn't be aligning with the values that this is antithetical to.
So that was a video of a high school teacher in Sacramento, California. He's talking about having an Antifa flag, which this is what the Antifa flag is. But I want to make a couple things clear here, because apparently the right doesn't understand what Antifa is. And I know what this guy's talking about. Anybody that's mad at an Antifa flag, maybe you shouldn't align with the values that this is antithetical to. But you know, Sydney Watson and people that think like Sydney Watson don't understand that.
I think it's even fair to say that trust in the medical system has also taken a significant hit. I mean, I read these psycho stories about nurses and doctors saying that they refuse to help unvaccinated patients, and I'm just like, What is happening?
I can explain this to you. The vaccine has been out since December of 2020. If you get COVID in 2021, in September, October, when this is being filmed, and doctors don't want to treat you because you refuse to get the vaccine, I'm all okay with that. I'm 100% behind those doctors. If you refuse to believe the science and actually step in line with normality and get the vaccine, you shouldn't be helped by any doctor. Frankly, you shouldn't be able to go to the hospital to waste beds for people that are sick, that have been vaccinated and have to go to the hospital for actual valid reasons. So yes, if doctors don't want to help people that are unvaccinated because
they don't want to get vaccinated,
they don't deserve the help.
The last 18 months has genuinely felt like Groundhog Day, and you have these politicians who tell you what to do, and I have to follow it. We have to follow it, regardless if they're right or wrong.
As I said, we are very comfortable with free speech. We are very comfortable for people to exercise that free speech. But when that's done in contravention to the public health order, putting the rest of the public safety in jeopardy, police will not tolerate it.
Are you proposing taking away their guns, and how would this work?
I am.
I'm a savage. New York will become the first American city to mandate coronavirus vaccines to attend indoor businesses.
And the best way to keep you safe and to keep Delta out of Queensland is to build as quickly as possible a regional quarantine facility.
I don't know why Sydney is showing this video. I'm 100% behind everything these people said. Yes, we should mandate the vaccine to everybody. Every business should mandate vaccines. It is a public health crisis. When there's a public health crisis, your freedoms are null and void. If people's lives are affected, your freedom doesn't matter anymore. And the funny thing is, you conservatives actually think you have freedom in the United States.
I don't know which values we even universally share anymore as people, because so many have collectively lost the plot. And I say that not to sound overly dramatic or hyperbolic, but genuinely because there was once a time, at least in the United States, when everyone appeared to value freedom regardless if they were on the left or the right. And that was the one thing that linked this country together, the one thing that brought people together to vote for, you know, this politician here or that politician there, the things that dictated how people felt about the state of the world and gave Americans a common goal. And even now, that seems to be gone.
See, Sydney, there's a valid reason on why those things are starting to fade away. We now have media and social media, and every single person on this planet, or most people, have a camera. And a lot of things in this country are starting to get exposed. They already started back in the late 80s, early 90s, but now we are really starting to expand the social media and the actual usage of everybody having a camera. We're exposing the reality in this country. We're exposing the racism, the systemic racism, the misogyny, the blatant bigotry in this country.
And as for other countries around the world, obviously I don't live there, so I don't know, but I am assuming, at least in part, that you two have experienced this shift between not only the left and the right, but just a general shift in humans, just the way that we interact with each other, the way that we treat each other, and the expectations that we have of each other. I look around and it seems like so few people have the ability to think independently. Thank you, CNN and university.
A lot of those things changed because of the president that you voted for before Joe Biden. Your president, Donald Jessica Trump, has made racism open again. He made it okay for people to be misogynistic and racist and bigoted. That's why you're seeing a shift here. But the problem is you're not understanding that. You don't know that. And you don't see it because you're on the side that is doing it.
So few people acknowledge how evil government has become, or maybe it always was evil, I don't know. So few people have the ability to look into the future and see that the path that we're on does not lead into roses and rainbows. We are not, this path is not a good one.
Oh wow, Sydney, we actually agree on the same thing. I agree with you. On this path that we're taking right now, there's not gonna be any roses at the end. See, the left wants to fix that. You guys don't. You guys wanna make sure that the path that we're on right now ends with dog shit.
We're living in a period of time where Australian families separated at the border have to hug over plastic barricades, and nobody seems bothered by this. Someone obviously didn't get the memo that this is not, in fact, a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, that's because your country, the country that you came from, is competent and understands science. I mean, what are the cases in Australia? Let's check it out. Wow. Are you serious? Of course they're gonna be hugging through plastic bags. Look at your COVID cases. They're on an all-time high in Australia. It's been surging all summer. What are you so confused about? People like Sydney Watson only care about their freedom and are so selfish that if their freedom is affected and other people are dying, but their freedom is still affected, it doesn't matter. Oh, they died? Pfft. We don't care. Our freedom is affected. That is what Sydney Watson and people like her think.
South Australians are expected to put signs on their doors that let others know that they're in quarantine. Protests are happening all over the world in response to vaccine passports. France gets an honorable mention because they seem to be putting in a really, really good effort here. Although you could argue that there are two things that the French are really good at: making bread and protesting.
The only thing the French are good at is making bread and surrendering. Yeah, I heard what you said. Now, let me break down what the French are good at. Universal healthcare, universal childcare, maternity leave. And look how much they're getting in maternity leave a year. France is one of the happiest countries in the world. And am I with France when it comes to vaccine passports?
Goddamn right.
Aussie police are using tear gas, capsicum spray, and I believe, but don't quote me, rubber bullets against anti-lockdown protesters. And let me remind you all again that Australians do not have guns. They do not have weapons as a general rule.
Okay, your protesters are getting shot with rubber bullets and gassed. How does it feel? Y'all did that to Black Lives Matter and the left. And I know two wrongs don't make a right, but you know what I mean.
The Taliban now has billions of dollars worth of equipment, including Humvees and guns and drones and what have you. Most of which, just by the way, they'll probably use to shoot their own citizens, but also Americans and allies.
Yeah, Sydney, do you know that they got those weapons because of the United States? You know we gave those weapons to them, right? How do you not know this?
I want to sing a song just for you, 'cause you're my special friend.
And the best part is, the mainstream media is suggesting that this is all the fault of American citizens. What in the actual...
Sydney, the war in Afghanistan is absolutely America's fault. Are you kidding me? Do you actually think that the war in Afghanistan started because of 9/11? Because 9/11 was just a cherry on top. There was a whole cake of dog shit that was already baked before 9/11.
Canada is being run by a walking, talking vagina.
You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated. And you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train besides vaccinated people and put them at risk.
That's my boy, Justin Trudeau. And I heard what you were going to call him, Sydney. You were going to call him a vagina. Why? Because the man actually gives a about his citizens? A man that actually cares about his country? Please spare me the detail.
I look at all of this and I wonder how we got here. And I know a lot of people in the comments are going to say, Sydney, you know, how could you not think that we would get here? And these are obviously people who've been around for a little while longer than me, so you've seen this happening over a longer period of time. But I never thought that we would get to a point where the lunatics would full-blown be running the asylum.
That's hilarious that you mentioned that, because I actually think that you're right. Lunatics are running the asylum, and you're voting for them. People like you with your fundamental thoughts are voting for them. See, the left wants to unite people. The right does not. The right knows that if you unite people, white people will be affected. They're afraid that white people will be exterminated. I've said this before, and I'm telling you, that's what they believe. I've heard it from a Republican myself.
I'm so exasperated by things that are going on in the world, particularly in Australia, just for example, that I'm even over here crying on my co-host show.
There will be no removal of masks to consume alcohol outdoors. So you will no longer be able to remove your mask to drink a cocktail at a pop-up beer garden on a footpath as part of a pub crawl.
What did that man say that was so wrong? I don't even know who that dude is. It doesn't matter. But anybody that wants to protect other people in any way, shape, or form, especially people that cannot get the vaccine yet, I am okay with those people. And you're crying because he's mandating masks? You're crying because your freedom is being infringed.
I find myself getting a little emotional looking at all of this, and I don't want to cry on your show, but like it makes me like really upset because sorry, Elijah. Because it's like my home and it's just like so jacked right now. And I hate it because my family's stuck there too. Sorry.
Oh, I'm a terrible human. I'm laughing at someone crying because of stupid shit.
I guess it's hard not to look around and take stock of what's going on and look at everything that's happened in the last 18 months, but also since Donald Trump got into office, because I definitely feel like that was a catalyst for much of the insanity that we're seeing.
Did you just say that? Say that one more time.
Donald Trump got into office.
Wow, I actually agree with you. Yes, you're 100% right. Trump was the trigger for all this bullshit.
I personally feel super let down by our leaders. I feel let down by our fellow countrymen. And I definitely feel intense rage towards the media for exacerbating much of the existing issues in society. I definitely blame them for a lot.
I am glad the media is exposing it, and I hope they continue exposing it.
The social contract has been broken. We no longer trust each other. We no longer trust the institutions that are governing our lives because they've lied to us time and time and time again. And it feels like every single time we turn around, someone or something is trying to destroy or control our way of life, whether that be in the form of disrupting families or institutionalizing people or forcing radical wokeness down our throats. And in saying all of this, I'm not just talking about the sniffles. There is much more to life, and there has always been more to life than the sniffles.
So she finishes her video by stating that COVID is just the sniffles, and we shouldn't worry about just the sniffles. It's been 2 years of this pandemic. Almost 2 years. And you people on your side are still saying that COVID is just the sniffles. 42.5 million cases of COVID-19 in the United States as of recording of this video, with 680,000 deaths. You know, that's more deaths than the Civil War. What are your thoughts on the things that are happening currently in the United States? Comment below, let me know. If you enjoy my content and you're able to, please donate to the channel via Patreon. I will leave the link right here in the description and at the end of this video. Get access to my private community on Discord, private podcasts, early access to every video that I make here on YouTube, and much more. I hope to see you there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys later.